As we finally wrap up 2020, I can't help but shake this feeling that this year, 2020, is going to be an origin story for a lot of people. So what do I mean by that? First, let me explain what origin story means to me, what I think of when I hear the words origin story. I think of Spider-Man, honestly, and this quote that I thought was a quote from the Spider-Verse movie. I thought it was from that movie, but I tried to find the quote. It was not in that movie that I could find. I couldn't find the quote anywhere else. Maybe it's not an actual quote. Maybe it's just what I was thinking when I watched that movie. I don't know. But it's when his Uncle Aaron dies. And then the other Spider people, right, from the different universes, all kind of tell their story about losing someone close to them. And in my mind, I thought they said it, but at least in my mind, I thought that's your origin story. This difficult, dark situation sucks, but it's the origin story that launches you to greatness. So the number one origin story that I think of is the original Spider-Man, Peter Parker, when his Uncle Ben dies. And he had the power to stop the killer, and he didn't do it. And so then that, in the back of his head, what his uncle taught him, with great power comes great responsibility, carries with him. So this terrible, terrible situation becomes his origin story and launches him to greatness. Same thing if you're not a Spider-Man fan, if you're not a Marvel fan, maybe you're a DC fan, you like Batman, same thing, right? Batman's parents dies. That's what launches him to, hey, I gotta do more to clean up the city. I gotta do more to help other people so other kids don't have to go through what I went through. It was his origin story. And yeah, it's a terrible situation, but those terrible situations can launch you into greatness. I'm saying all this to say, if you've been through something difficult too, because honestly, I'm gonna use Savon's death to launch greatness in myself. I don't know exactly what that looks like. I got a couple ideas, but I know for sure I'm gonna be a better person because of that. Now, I'm not gonna ask questions on did he have to die? I don't know. I'm not gonna get into that, but I am gonna say that because I lost Savon, I'm gonna make sure that I become a better person. I'm gonna make sure that I have a bigger impact. So yes, 2020 has sucked, and you may have lost jobs, loved ones, all sorts of stuff. It's been difficult. But what I want you to do is, instead of just thinking about how bad it is, think about how this could be your origin story. What is something that you have put off that you can't put off any longer? Maybe it is write a book. Maybe it is record an album. Maybe it is make a movie, right? Short film, or maybe it's time to make that major motion picture, feature-length film that you've been thinking about and you've been wanting to maybe do but never really had the courage to do it. Let 2020 be your origin story. Let the most difficult year of your life, let the dark, difficult, terrible season, let it launch you into greatness. If 2020's made you angry, what are you gonna do with that anger? Are you gonna sit there and sulk and be mad about it? Or are you gonna go actually make a difference? If 2020 has reminded you about racial inequality, or if it's reminded you about how many people are hurting, whether it's financially or physically or emotionally, if 2020 has reminded you of those things, then what are you gonna do to help those things? What are you gonna do to make a difference? I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not trying to downplay your pain, because believe me, I know. Believe me, I know how bad 2020 was and is, and I get it. I'm not downplaying your pain, but I'm saying don't stay in that. I can't wait to look back a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and see all of the amazing things that came out of 2020. It's a really tough year to be in it right now, but I promise you, I know it. I can see it now. The movies that were made because someone finally had enough and had to make that movie, or they had to write that book, or record that album, or open a community center in your neighborhood, or pursue ministry, or pursue nonprofits, or missions overseas, or run for politics. I think there's gonna be a lot of great people that end up running into politics locally, statewide, nationally, that really make a difference because of how bad 2020 is. They said, I can't do that anymore. I can't sit back and watch anymore. I need to go out there and I need to make a difference. I'm excited to see what comes out of 2020. This year has been bad, but I don't think it's gonna beat us. I know 2020 is bad, but I don't see it as the end. I see 2020 as the beginning, as the origin story for your greatness. Hey, thanks for watching my video. I hope you liked it. If you did, can you do 3 things for me? Can you like the video, subscribe to my channel, and tell your friends?